You just said fire away. We're on now. You're like, hit me with your best shot.
What?
Fire away. Yeah, you just said fire away. Hit me.
I meant fire away and load me up with this iPad.
By the way, that song was written by a Canadian, Eddie Schwartz.
Ooh.
It's the kind of information you get on Friday Night Live with John Beaudin and Shannon Edwards.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Hey.
Welcome to 2023.
Yeah, it's our first show of the year. Oh, there we are. Let me turn that volume down. Robert Schluter, 2023.
What? Fraser J., what a bloody great picture of you guys. Hey, thanks, Fraser.
I don't even know when we took that. That was last year.
It's most certainly.
That was last year sometime.
John, hope your headache is better, says Fraser.
Thanks. Shannon says, you didn't really tell them you had a headache, did you? I said, well, someone asked. I was going like this. I had such a bad tension headache, and I can't remember. It's been over a year since I had one. I used to get migraine headaches. Does anyone get migraine headaches? Oh, Shannon gets them. Not as much anymore. You haven't had a migraine headache in quite a while.
Yeah, quite some time. Irene, hey, Irene, Brophy, LOL, Happy
Hi,
New
Irene.
Year.
I'll bring up the comments here, too. Ramsey, hey, guys, would be fab if you could get Rick Davies. He's very shy, but would be a fab interview. I'd like to get Rick. I'd like to get Roger, too, from Supertramp. We've got Bob Siebenberg, John Helliwell, Roger Hodgson, and who's the other guy? I'm just trying to think. Might be Doogie. I think that's it. I think that's it that we've got on our channel. But Brian Gervais.
Dwayne says, greetings from Edmonton, Alberta. Happy New Year. Rick May, greetings from Ohio. Why ring in the new year when we can whack it? Hit that like button, folks.
Hit that like button. Thank you for everyone hitting the like button. Appreciate it.
Rob Coltrane said 2013.
Yep.
Brian.
Oh, Glenn Hughes, yeah.
Brian Gervais, back in black. Dwayne says it would be cool.
Yeah, we're both in black.
Oh, it would be cool if you interviewed Kim Mitchell. Do you want to turn that off?
I don't mind having it on.
Okay.
Kim Mitchell, we've done Kim Mitchell last year or the latter part of the year before, and he was a great interview. We've got a few interviews with Kim Mitchell, most of them done by the gentleman who gave me a lot of his interviews. Sorry, it's been a long day.
John
Did
says,
you just
hi,
hit me?
Hi from Connecticut. Hope you guys are well. Melody R. Hey.
She says I can't yawn on the stream, but I can't help it if I yawn.
Ramsey said, greetings from Surrey, UK. It's Saturday here. Welcome, Ramsey.
Hey, welcome. Thank you.
David Cyril, Near Sean will probably be a great interview considering all the drama going on.
I don't think I'd get one, though. I don't think, and Melody says, interview Kim Meyer, who's Kimberly from the Stampeders. I've got a long interview with Kimball, and with Ronnie King as well, but I can't get Rich Dotson for whatever reason. He's not answering my emails.
Fraser J says, John, I really appreciate your comment on my Instagram Christmas song.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
John Ross, since Neil
Dottie
from REO Speedwagon has retired from the band, maybe you could speak with him about it.
I think I could. That'd be a good excuse.
JJD Video, Diamond David Lee Roth or Tom Jones.
I've tried David Lee Roth. His manager got back to me right away, just like Robert Plant's manager, like right away. Straight to jail right away. Everyone see that thing from The Office? Undercooked fish, you go to jail. Believe it or not, overcooked fish, also jail.
I thought it was Saturday Night Live.
No, it's actually from
Skit.
Parks and Recreation.
Oh. And Melody R says, interview Kimball Meyer.
Yeah, I got that one.
Please.
See, that's why you don't want me to read the comments.
Because you're going to, I'm way behind you.
Yeah.
John Stringham, how about an underrated sideman woman, Crystal Taliaferro? First with Mellencamp and then Billy Joel.
Oh, I'm not familiar with her. Her name sounds familiar. I took 2 Advil, and Shannon gave me like a 20-minute rub, and I feel like I'm on cloud 9 right now going, ooh.
Michael Henry, yeah, I second Glenn Hughes. Nice guy. He would do it. Lives in L.A.
I'll try, yeah. Thank you.
Darren, Dawn, did you hear the new Peter Gabriel song?
Panopticon.
That was released today.
Yeah, it was okay. You know, I was so happy to hear it, and I'm such a big Peter Gabriel fan. And I've interviewed two people from his band. A few years ago, Tony Levin. Sorry, since I've took that Advil and she rubbed my head, my mind's a little bit.
Dwayne says, could you try and interview Robin Trower?
Everyone is on me for Robin Trower, and I must make an effort. Yes.
Live at J&T's. Hey guys, get Blair Thornton.
Oh, Blair Thornton, yeah.
Oh, sorry.
You misspelled the Glare, but I know you meant Blair of Bachman Turner Overdrive. I used to work for his wife at the Community Living Society in Vancouver, because that's where at least they lived back then. And she was the manager of, I was a mental health care worker when my show became voice tracked. And I thought, I lost half my wage, but this is great. I recorded my show in half an hour. Sorry.
Gennaro says, greetings from Montreal, Quebec. The rocker you should interview is Shania Twain, not...
I'd never get her anyway. Her hair's pink now. She looks really nice.
David Cyril. Ian Anderson is always a good interview.
I've interviewed Ian, I think, 7 times. And I'd love to interview him. Sorry, you know where I got this? Underneath my MacBook.
George Matthey, Happy New Year's. It would be great if you could interview Andy Summers or Stuart
Copeland.
Stuart Copeland from the Police. It's the 40th anniversary of Synchronicity.
I've met them both. I've met all 3 of them at a meet and greet. And Andy was flirting with my then girlfriend, future wife, first wife. And they were kind of saucy.
Ramsey says, shout out to Keith Dexrud in Wisconsin. It's his birthday today. Yay,
Keith. Yay.
Happy, what is it, 30th birthday? Is it 35?
Him?
Yeah, I can't remember.
Oh, no, he's older than that.
I just,
What?
I just going back a few years for him.
Says the woman that got ID'd a second time at the liquor store, in early December.
Melody R says, I can ask Rich.
Oh, do you know him? Yeah, I've got you know what? He hasn't got back to me, but I know that they're doing a tour in, I think, what is it, Melody? March or April. So the other guys in the Stampeders, a Canadian band for anyone who's not familiar with them. Sweet City Woman was their U.S. hit. And Hit the Road Jack, I think, was a U.S. hit. Or no, Hit the Road Jack was a U.S. hit.
Tony Stevens would love to see an interview with any of the members of Bachman Turner Overdrive. Fred Turner, Robbie, yeah. Yeah, and the very elusive, the Blair.
Elusive. Blair Thornton. I'd like to interview Blair Thornton. I don't think I've ever seen an interview with Blair. And I'd like to contact him. I think I could probably get a hold of him through his wife. I never knew his wife. I worked for his wife at the CLS Community Living Society. But I'm trying to think if I ever met her. I think I met her once.
Mark says, hello to you and Edmonton in Florida. I'm from Ohio.
Hey.
Rick May, how about an interview with Todd
Rundgren? Yeah.
He is a wizard and a true star.
Well, I could get a hold of him through Kasim Sultan, who is his bass player from Utopia. And he brought in Kasim to play on Bat Out of Hell. So I've got Kasim's information. I've got his cell phone number. And Kasim's one of those guys, after we did the interview, he just said, yeah, man, anytime you want to talk, sure.
Hike with Mike. Hello, Mike. Mark Burchette. Hey, folks. Hi to you as well.
Thanks for coming on.
And David said, second on Rick May's suggestion for Rundgren.
Yeah, I really should. Todd Rundgren's the guy. You know what I used to say about Todd Rundgren when Hello, It's Me, which was way before my time in radio, not before my time as a music fan. When that album came out, radio guys were saying things like, Todd Rundgren's the guy who could have never-ending hits, but just doesn't want to do that. Now, I'm not sure if that's true. I saw him in Blaine, Washington. Nancy Saskew, who used to work for A&M Records. She was a record rep. She brought me to Blaine to see Todd Rundgren. I didn't recognize any of his songs. She did. She was a real Todd Rundgren fan. And since then, I've become an even bigger fan. Nearly Human was the album that I had bought a few years before that.
Stephen Spencer joins us. Joe Walsh, and why isn't he in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame or Musicians Hall of Fame?
Isn't he in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? Why wouldn't he be in with the Eagles? Because he wasn't in the original lineup? I think isn't he in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
David says, Tony Levin is a great interview because of all the great musicians he's played with.
Yeah, when I was doing those interviews around 9/11 and before that, I hadn't really perfected my style of interviewing. I hadn't looked at, when I do an interview now, there's a part of me that looks, I'm going, okay, sound bites. I need sound bites. I have to make money on this. What do people want to hear? If there's anything salacious, hate to say that, but you have to. If there's a pink elephant in the room, you've got to ask the question. Even if you do it in a very kind of, when you're asking a guy, well, fans are asking, what do you say when fans say it's not Nazareth anymore to Pete Agnew? You can say it that way. And because fans are saying it, it's true. And I like Nazareth. They're a different band now. It's not really Nazareth anymore, but it's a more heavy version of Nazareth, or Sweet with Brian. And, what do you say? What are you doing?
I'm sober, so I can rest it.
Oh, you know why I ask her? What do you do sometimes, Shannon? She unhooks my microphone.
Ramsey says,
I always tell her, don't touch my
If
phone.
you did Robin Trower, you could also get Matthew Fisher, who produced him and co-wrote Whiter Shade of Pale.
Oh, well, let me look into it.
Also, any member from Wishbone Ash.
Oh yeah, someone was just asking me about Wishbone Ash, Black Oak, Arkansas. A few lesser known bands. What was the other band? Fog Hat, even though they've done a lot of stuff since Slow Ride, but yeah.
Metal Reaper says Buzz Osborne from the Melvins.
Oh, you guys are getting me some good stuff. Oh, Mark Burchett did say Walsh is in with the Eagles. That's true.
Okay. Melody R says interview Angus Young.
Oh, AC/DC, yeah.
Gennaro says, hey, Gennaro, have you ever interviewed the boss, Bruce Springsteen?
No, I never tried. Never actually. I've interviewed a few people who know him and told nice stories about him. He's very loyal. He's a very loyal guy.
Hike with Mike. Suggestion, you should interview more contemporary bands like Blink-182, All American Rejects, the 1975, etc. That would be cool.
The 1975 is a pretty good band. I know she's on a roll tonight.
She's on a roll
Danica, shh. Thank you.
Marilyn Jackson, Ann and Nancy Wilson.
I'll never get them in a million years. Nancy maybe, but Ann won't come on our show. I've tried, and then before I interviewed the guys, I wanted her to respond to some of the things that they had said and give her a chance, and then I just kept getting the runaround. I mean, that's the most runaround I've ever had about doing an interview, even though her publicist was very nice. But I'm pretty sure because I interviewed the Fisher brothers before. I don't know. I even contacted my friend Eamon O'Neill from Eon Music. I said, how long did it take you to get Ann Wilson when you asked? He said, well, about a week. I said, really? You asked 1 week and you got her the next week. I said, this has been going on for months for me. And he says, ooh, you're in the bad books. I went, okay.
Aaron Campbell, hey, John and Shan, have you ever interviewed Burton Cummings?
No, I'm still trying to get Burton.
Rob F. says Don Henley or Joe Walsh.
Oh, I see that, Rob, yeah. Mm-hmm. Rob's a handsome guy. Look at that picture.
Elaine Cox, hi, Elaine. Glass Tiger, Jude Cole or Dwayne Bailey?
I love Jude Cole. I've talked to Jude on Facebook, and we were going to do a thing, but he was in Japan. Who's the other one he said?
Dwayne Bailey.
I know, but who's... Glass Tiger. I interviewed Glass Tiger. I interviewed their guitarist, their then drummer on the first album. I forget his name. He left. I don't know why he left Glass Tiger, but he did. He told me he was leaving Glass Tiger. And Alan Frew, who had the greenest eyes I've ever seen. There was a soundstage I think they were doing a video and a photo shoot at this soundstage in Toronto. I was trying to sell my Canadian content show, The Cross Canada Report. And the show was pretty big at the time, so I got in. Glass Tiger were the biggest band in the land. They only had one album. But I remember looking at Alan Frew and going, that guy's got the greenest eyes I've ever seen. And it turns out he was, like Shannon once said, he was wearing contacts. No one has green eyes like that.
Prog Dog, Tom Cochran.
I have 2 interviews with Tom Cochran. They're not mine. They're mine. I own them, but I didn't do them. I met Tom when I was doing a thing at the was doing what was the name of that hotel? I just passed by it online. I was driving through Edmonton online on a video via someone else. And anyway, the Westin Hotel downtown Vancouver. He was doing a concert. They were staying at the Westin, and we were doing a remote for the Children's Bureau. And he comes up and he says, "What are you guys doing?" And I looked up and going, I just said, I thought it'd be cool, right? I thought, I'm going to be really cool. I said, "Hey, Tom, how you doing, man?" He said, "What are you guys doing?" I said, "Well, we're doing this for the Christmas Bureau and stuff." And I think he donated money or something. And so we stood around talking. I said, "Hey, you're playing with Spider these days from Streetheart, the bass player." He said, "Yeah." I said, "How's it going?" He says, "Do you know Spider?" Because I was acting like I knew him. I said, "No, I got some friends who know him," which I in fact do. And I said, "Good for you, man." "Oh, Buck Dharma. Yeah, Blue Oyster Cult. Greg E."
Well, you're like way ahead of me here.
Well, sorry.
Mark says, "How about interviewing Kim Mitchell?"
I'll try to get him again. I've got Kim's private email. I remember he had said something in the interview, which is not a big thing, but he didn't want me to include it. It was a very small thing, so don't worry. It was not salacious or anything. He emailed me and he said, "Hey, John, thanks for the interview. It was a lot of fun. Thanks for knowing about my career." Because a lot of times they'll go, "Oh, my God. Remember that song you released in 75? What was that song?" And they'll go, it was like Elton John would say, "Oh, Philadelphia Freedom?" "Yeah, what was that about?" And, they'll go, well, Billie Jean King. And like, do your research. Sometimes I'll get caught. I got caught with Michael DeRozier. In full disclosure, I forgot that he only played 2 songs on the debut album, Dreamboat Annie, for Heart. And I said, "Oh, I feel like an idiot." He said, No, man, it's okay. But it's rare for me to be in a situation for an interview and not know that Michael was really knee deep by the time they got into A Little Queen, the second album. But, it'll happen sometimes.
Tom Clark says, "Get Neil Sean."
John Lennon.
Yeah, I saw that. Tom Clark says, "Get Neil Sean. He's unfiltered." Someone already mentioned that. JL said, "Anthony Crawford."
I don't know who Anthony Crawford is.
Claudia, Happy New Year to you both.
Hi.
Hello, Claudia. I know you're trying, but I still have to mention it. Steve Perry is a must.
I've tried a few times, and I think I might be. I have a really good connection with Steve Perry. Not me personally, but I have someone in my life who's very close to him, and I have to not sabotage that relationship and try to get it's not Steve Lukather. But anyway, yeah.
Spacey, Steve Howe of Yes.
I've talked to his son, but not Steve. I'd like to get Steve. Yeah.
Bella joined us. Hi, John Shannon.
Hi.
Friends, hi. La Squisha.
LaQuisha says, "Ring by God." What rings by God? I don't know what that means.
Oh, again, you were like way ahead of me. What about the guys from Sega?
I've never tried, even though I've been. A lot of people have said, "Get on there." Huey Lewis, yeah, I tried a couple of years ago. David Earl, Danny Serafin, I have tried. I talked to his manager right after the Chicago documentary came out. I talked to his manager. I talked to Danny, and Danny says, "Well, let me talk to my manager." I says, "Yeah, but they were not very nice about you. Like, don't you want to say anything?" And I think at the time they probably thought, "Well, is this the outlet we want to do it?" And they ended up not really saying anything to anybody. So I've gotten in. Oh, Boo Mitchell said, "Roger Hudson, I've tried." But you know what? I will try again.
Trucker says, "Happy New Year, guys. John Anderson of Yes or Donald Fagen of Steely Dan both give fun interviews."
Well, I've interviewed John Anderson, and it was a great an hour and a half interview. But Donald Fagen, I haven't got. David says, "What about the Doors?" Yeah, Robbie Krieger. Oh, thanks for the super chat. Richiak? You'd have.
Richie C59.
Oh.
Don Felder, always a great interview.
I will try again.
Yeah.
I know his publicist. I will try
Thank you,
again.
Richie.
And I'm going to try to get Timothy B. Schmidt because he's doing some interviews right now, and I'd love to talk to him. I've always wanted to talk to him. I love his voice. He's got the voice of an angel.
Hike with Mike, ever interviewed Bryan Adams?
Nope, I haven't interviewed with Bryan Adams. Not mine, but I've been. Someone gave it to me and they did it. So I think. Oh, I don't know if Steve did that one.
AVH 700, Bruce Hornsby, which of course you have interviewed
Twice
already.
in person and on the phone, but not for many years. His basketball player twin boys were babies at the time. Yeah.
Mustang Red 1967, Huey Lewis. That'd be a good interview.
Huey Lewis and the News, yeah. I don't know about the tinnitus with his ear if he does a lot of interviews. I'd have to find out. But yeah, these are all good. I'm going to write all these down.
The Saline 786 interviewed Tom Johnson, Patrick Simmons, Doobie Brothers. Love you guys. Nice.
I was promised Tom Johnson and Patrick Simmons about a year ago. I never followed up because it was a time where we were 20 interviews back. And by the way, right now we're like about 15, 20 interviews behind. Interviews we've done, interviews they've even been chopped up by me or Chase and I, and we're still getting around to. Oh, Danny Searle says the Chicago documentary was such a puff piece. Yeah. And the attack, slanderous attack on Danny. So I should talk to him. Yeah, and I've never talked to an original member of Chicago, which is even more fuel for me to do it.
Gene Phillips says, love your interviews. Maybe you. John Kay.
Oh, John Kay of Asia? Who is that? Oh, John Kay. John Kay. Who's John Kay?
Rick says, how about Nick Lowe and his days producing the early albums of Elvis Costello?
Oh, Nick Lowe. Yeah, I remember. We used to play Nick Lowe at the first station I ever bought. Oh, John Kay at Steppenwolf? You're talking about Steppenwolf? Yeah, I get emails. I asked him for an interview, then he put me on his email list. Yeah, that's who you're talking about. Let me make sure that's the spelling. Yeah. No. Hold on. Yeah, Steppenwolf, John Kay, that's the guy. So that happens sometimes. I'll email them through their website and ask them a question, and all they do is, and I'm still on Ann Wilson's mailing list. I emailed her directly, but that'll never happen. Tom Clark, Steppenwolf. Yep, I'm going to get on it.
Trucker, being a Chicago guy, and he has been a part of so many of the Ides of March Survivor helped out 38 Special in their early years, very animated. The great Jim Pederick?
Oh, Chet Pederick, yeah. Survivor, too, yeah. Yeah. Good interview, yes.
Oh,
I think the Professor of Rock just interviewed him.
Snowman, hi, welcome. If
Hey.
you haven't already talked to him, Leonard Sklar, great.
Leland
bass
Sklar,
player.
yeah. Leland Sklar, I got a hold of their publicist, and we were going to set up with with Danny Korchmar and everybody else, and I'm not positive what happened. It was maybe November. And there was, what did they ask? I'll get back to them. Because you know how it is with your email. You can just look in. What's it called? Friends of the Family, their band? Rick Davies' Supertramp's coming up a lot. I got to get on them.
Groovy Caps, you should interview the singer for Weezer.
I know nothing about Weezer. I know that the Toto connection, but I know nothing about this band. Like, I swear to God, I can't name a song.
Darren says, I'd like to see Cameron Hawkins of FM being interviewed. Also, Ben Mink.
Oh, Ben Mink, yeah. My favorite Ben Mink story is when I played one of his songs. Now, I didn't do this. It was the music department, and not even the music department's idea. It was management's idea to take all the Canadian content songs on this particular station I was working at in Vancouver and make them half the length so we could get all our CanCon out of the way. Ben Mink called me on the air, and he was really angry. And it had to be Ben Mink because he had co-written that song with Katie Lang. So the guy on the other end of the phone, he must live in Vancouver or was visiting. I think he lives in Vancouver. So he was really mad at me. I said, listen, don't punish a messenger. I'm sorry. It's got nothing to do with me, but I'll pass it along. And he couldn't believe that we'd made his song. I think it was Constant Craving. I forget what it was. But anyway, he had co-written the song. And let me look up if he co-wrote Constant Craving. But it was one of the songs from Ingenue, I think. That's what it was.
Eric Maldonado Guitar. Good evening to both of you from Southern California. Hi, Eric. How about Dean Castronovo?
Oh, yeah, from Journey. It sounds like...
Revolution Saints does have a new single out right now.
Yeah. I will I'll look that up. It's a good time to talk to him. Selected awards. Katie Lang. So, yeah, Ingenue. What song would have been? Let me look at what song it would have been. Constant Craving? Was it Constant Craving? Yep, I think it was Constant Craving. They both co-wrote that song. But he was very angry. But he had settled down. I said, listen, man, it's got nothing to do with me.
Grant says, what about Jeff Lynne of ELO?
I don't think I could get him. It's so hard to get an interview with him. But I can look into it. I'm going to write all these down. Melody R says Bob Dylan. I don't think I'll. After Mark Howard's comment on the producer on working with Bob Dylan, I don't think I could get Bob Dylan. Like, see, I can't shy away from someone saying something crazy about an artist and say, well, I'll never get that artist. Because I can't really do that. That takes away from the integrity of the whole thing. If someone says something, I'm not really mean to say the word salacious, but something, like the Ann Wilson comment. I thought about that for a while before putting that out, because there are Ann Wilson comments that I've had from other people that commented on her weight that I didn't put on. I went, no, that's crazy. You know what I mean? You're not going to comment on her weight. That's ridiculous. But artists have, not many. And I've decided not to include that. But when Michael DeRozier said, and I don't know if Ann Wilson knows how to be in a band, I went, that's just, I don't agree with that necessarily, but how would I know? I've never been in a band with her. So there you go.
Thank you so much. And don't forget to hit our like button. We so appreciate it.
Thank you.
I'm just kind of flying all over the place here. Groovy Cap says, interview Debbie Harry, even if it's hard to get her.
I would love to. Yeah, she's one of those. She's one of those artists that is not right in our lane, but real close. Because the 80s artists, like Richard Marx, someone had mentioned Richard Marx, and I've got a pretty good connection, not with him. When I say I have good connection with a person, that means I know someone who knows them. Yeah, I was just given his, Yeah, I know how to get a hold of Richard Marx.
David says, probably impossible to get, but Joni Mitchell would be amazing.
I think it would be really hard, but again, I don't want to kibosh all the great suggestions you guys are. Oh, Bella Lagrisi says, David Pack. I met him in Toronto very briefly when I was co-chair of the Canadian Smooth Jazz Awards. He just came into the restaurant we were all hosting as a way of going, hey, how's it going? We're all here. Canadian Smooth Jazz Awards, yay.
Tom Joseph says, Rick Davies, Supertramp.
Yeah, I got to get a hold of Rick Davies.
How about In Excess surviving members would be a good interview?
I saw that,
That would be a really good one, Mike. Yeah, that would be really good.
Oh, Lindsey Buckingham. Oh, by the way, Music Stream, Fee Waybill, who I just interviewed like a few months ago, gave me Richard Marx's information because he's godson to Richard's son or daughter. And he knows him. He's one of his best friends.
Listen, Happy New Year, guys. Mickey Thomas or Thomas Shaw seems like they'd be good interviews.
I've got Mickey Thomas's personal, right in this phone, his phone number. And Mickey, if you're out there, he gets back to me right away. He's good friends with John Zeka. They go back. John Zeka is Bobby Kimball's producer of Toto, formerly of Toto. And he gave me, talked to Mickey Thomas, talked me up, said, hey, you got to talk to John Beaudin, does great interviews. And Mickey's always saying, well, hit me up coming up next week. And I'll go, no problem. And I'm always nice because I love Mickey Thomas. I love Mickey Thomas. He's one of my favorite singers of all time. Fooled around, fell in love with Elvin Bishop. Come on.
Jeannie Rudder, John Fogerty. I'm disappointed that he never got back together with Doug and Stu of Creedence Clearwater Revival to show all their fans that they can get past their issues and forgive each other.
Yeah, I don't think there was an article in one of those classic rock magazines that came out. I still have it downstairs where they talk, and he talks about the fact that it would never happen. Well, his brother's dead, for one thing. And I never thought it would happen. There's too much water under the bridge sometimes. It's kind of like Journey when we announced yesterday the fact that, it looked like Jonathan Cain's not coming back to the tour. We'll see.
Gennaro says, how about Paul McCartney of the Beatles?
Oh, God. That would be I think I would get Elton John before I got Paul McCartney. But again, everyone's telling me, why don't you try? Right? I should get you. I sick you on it. She's like, this girl is the cold calling queen.
Fraser J says, John, is there any exciting 2023 interviews coming up that we don't know about? Or is there anything that you want to share?
No, I don't. You know what? It's strange. I'm working on about 4 or 5 interviews right now. I don't have one. Let me see what I've got on what does this say? Let me see. I probably tell you. Let me look up on my email. Okay. But keep reading. That's okay.
David says, how about Tom Cochrane of Red Rider fame?
I should, because John Cody, as you know, John
Yeah.
Cody's good friends with him, and I'm good friends with John, so maybe.
Glenn Walker is asking, can you find out about the band Aorta?
Who?
Glenn Walker, about the band Aorta. Have you heard of that?
No, I don't know them.
It was hot when he was 16 in 1972.
No, I don't know them. I'll look them up.
Okay.
The only one I have for sure is the drummer for the Yardbirds, Jim McCarty, who's still running the band. So I could talk to him about Jimmy Page, Eric Clapton, Jeff Beck. So Jim McCarty's coming up, and Jim lives in France. So we're trying to set the thing. So it'd be nice to talk to, he's the only constant member of the Yardbirds, and he's still keeping it running, even though how old is Jim? Let me look it up.
Prague Dog says Alex Lifeson.
He's 79. Yeah, I have a connection with them as well. Has anyone ever told you you resemble Robert Downey Jr.? Not too much anymore. I used to get it a lot when I was younger. I used to get it more when I didn't have facial hair when I was younger. And he shaved his head now.
Don't get any ideas. James, hi James, happy Friday. Shannon and John, hope everyone is doing well.
Happy Friday, thank you.
Cheers, thank you. Robert Jordan, Barry Hay of Golden Earring.
Oh, I haven't thought of Golden Earring in a long time. Oh, someone says Jackson Brown, Bev Bevan. Bev Bevan's from ELO, the drummer, and Jackson Brown. I know his publicist because I deal with them all the time. Jim McCarty is still high energy, he says.
Rick May, how about Glenn Tilbrook or Chris Difford of Squeeze?
Oh, sorry, Jim McCarty of the Yardbirds is 79. Sorry, there was a pause there.
No problem. I'm not quite sure where you were or where I am.
I'm sorry. It's good for me to see it here.
I'm jumping all around. I'm trying to see where you are. I'm going back to so if I don't get everybody in here.
Hi.
Let's see. Burton Cummings again. Todd Rundgren again.
Joey Mullen, by the way, I've already interviewed. It was a phone interview, and the sound quality was really bad, so I'd like to get him again.
Michael McDonald, says Warner Designs.
Again, I know their publicist, the same as the Doobie Brothers publicist, or it used to be. I don't know if he's still dealing with them.
Someone mentioned Barry Hayes of Golden Earring. Any news on George?
Coymans? I don't know who that is. I'm not familiar with Golden Earring that well, but I'm going to write all these suggestions down.
Claudia says, have you ever interviewed Jeff Tate?
Who's Jeff Tate? I don't know. I don't know who that is.
Oh, Orbison, hi. Lindsey Buckingham would be cool. That would be cool.
I'm going to work on Lindsey. I'd like to get him. Lindsey Buckingham's the reason I continued being a fan of Fleetwood Mac. Oh, someone says Jason Bonham, Mustang Red. Great idea. Mark Burchett, Aldo Nova, I tried. He had a new album a few years ago. He basically gave me and it was nice. He was very respectful. He said, oh, okay, who are you? And I said, here's our channel. We're doing really well. I think we had like 80,000 subscribers at the time. We're almost 109 now. And he never got back to me. But I never got back to him. John, your wife is beautiful. Regina.
Thank you. Very kind.
And no, she's not 30 years younger than me. She's 11 years younger than me. Just because I age like a normal person. And Shannon never ages.
I do.
There was a time where we looked the same age.
I'll let you kind of take over there because I don't know where I am and where you were.
Okay.
So you can just kind of
I'm
take
sorry.
it from here. No, that's no problem.
Queen's right. Oh, Julian Lennon.
Spinal Tap.
Spinal Tap. Yeah.
Hilarious.
Well, I interviewed Steve Lukather, talking
Rob
about.
F. Phil Collins. Yeah.
I don't know if Phil's still doing interviews. Oh, Jeff Tate, lead singer of Queensryche. That's why I don't know them. I know nothing about Queensryche. But if I've interviewed them, I would know a lot. Phil Collins, yeah. How about Donald Fagen, Steely Dan? I'd like to interview Donald Fagen. Anyone from Klaatu? I've interviewed all three guys. John, D. Long, and, okay, hold on. John, D. Long. It's going to come to me. Oh, God. I forget the other guy. I interviewed all three guys, and I haven't released it yet. Shannon is knocked down beautiful. David Earl.
Thank you. It's
You know what she always tells me when I tell her she looks beautiful? She says, oh, that's because I washed my hair. I'm going, the hell? I washed my hair. I still look like a boot. David Coverdale. Yes, I'd love to interview him. B.B. King. He's dead. Any of the guys from Moby Grape.
Thank you, Music Stream, to get more interviews if Shannon did the asking.
Fran Cosmo. I've talked to Fran quite a few times about doing an interview. I'll get back to him. He's very friendly. Richard Page, Mr. I tried to get him last year, and he said he's only doing print interviews. I'm going, well, we're a music video channel. That doesn't help us. Derek Trucks from La Quisa.
Thank you, Hike with Mike. I knew you'd come in. Suggestion for future live stream songs that change your life. That's a good one. That's a good one.
That's really good. Can
streams.
I send this? I got.
Yes.
We were gonna check all the suggestions tonight.
Can you contact the Smashing Pumpkin singer? He is a very intelligent interview.
Oh, hold on. Where are you? What was the suggestion again? My mind's like a sieve. Songs that change your life.
Yep. Rob F said Paul Carrick.
I've interviewed Paul Carrick. He has a new single, and I was just telling Shannon yesterday that I should interview him again.
David says Carl Palmer.
Carl Palmer I interviewed last year. Great interview. He was tired and a little short, but very nice. Answered all my questions. He just didn't want to do the interview. His publicist, he was trying to tell his publicist that he was really tired after the tour, and the publicist, because of the ELP book, basically said, no, you got to do the interview. So I completely understood. And he really gave me he was a very knowledgeable guy. One of the greatest drummers for his age I've ever seen. He's insane. You just watch any Carl Palmer drumming video. It'll knock your socks up. Elliot Easton of the Cars. Yes, I have tried. Haven't heard back. Oh, Billy Corgan. That's right. Mark, thank you. I couldn't think of his name. There's a lot of people in the 90s that it's information I don't use. Like I super hyper focus on bands that I talk to. I love the Smashing Pumpkins. Hike with Mike. Trevor Horn. He's supposed to have some new music. It was supposed to come out this year, so yes. Yes. No, I got it. Remember, yes, it was.
Oh, Fraser J said I used to work for Paul Carrick's manager.
Oh, cool. Paul's a really, really good interview. If no one has heard Paul Carrick's album Nightbird, you should try. John, I gave dear brother Tom Johnson a pristine copy of Moby Grape's album. He was great friends with, Skip Spence. Trevor Rabin, speaking of yes. It's Trevor that has the new album.
Is anyone still alive from the Allman Brothers band?
Not the original band, as far as I know. Am I thinking? I think all the original band are gone. Oh, yeah, Billy Sheehan. I almost interviewed Billy last year. Dweezil Zappa. Oh, yeah. Never thought of Dweezil. Yeah, Frank's son.
Oh, well, Mustang Red 1967. I love your channel. Why don't you do more Van Halen content?
I should. I tried to get David Lee Roth, and his manager, again, got back to me right away and said he's not doing interviews right now, which was nice. Whenever you have over 100,000 subscribers, even though I know some people who are doing what I do have a lot more than that, but usually that's the line of where they go, oh, the guy's not fooling around, or it's not some guy working in his mother's basement. And I always tell people, by the way, I'm a 40-year radio broadcaster, and that kind of helps sometimes. They don't think you're a schmo that's just doing a channel that only talks about Journey, or there was some Journey guy, some guy who runs mostly Journey, who thought somehow it was being too big. I don't know who it was. I've got it written down. I wrote it down. It said, come on, don't be so big-headed. You started someplace too. Yeah, I'd been in radio 30 years when I started. Not that you have to be in radio, but I remember look on a channel of going, you're just spreading rumors and crap. But anyway, so that person got mad at me. It's rare when people from other channels get mad at me. It's just, I don't really talk, like the Genesis Archives guy, he seemed like a piece of work. He said, oh, thanks for stealing my picture. I'm going, everything on your website's stolen. What are you talking about? Yeah. Okay, I'm okay now.
Billy Gibbons would be good.
Oh yeah, it's
His
ZZ Top.
don't seem to last.
Dewey Bunnell. He's the only guy in America. Did watch the Jerry Beckley interview. I interviewed Dan Peake before he died. I met Dewey Bunnell, and hold on, I'll show you the picture. I'm almost out of power. Look at. I'm like at nothing. There. Let's see if I can get the picture before I run out of power. I have to do this. In America, John Beaudin.
You've got some pretty big font happening there.
I have a big font happening in. You just keep rubbing. Oh, there he goes. There we are. Can you see it? Oh, it's just out of focus.
Oh no, it's not really out of focus. It's the glare.
It's the glare. Yeah, that's Jerry at the end. That's Jerry there. There's me, a contest winner, and Dewey. Hold on. Jeez, that doesn't work at all.
No.
Anyway, sorry.
What about Tina Turner? Says a groovy.
Never tried. She's semi-retired. Demi Lovato. Someone knows I don't like Demi Lovato.
Just kidding.
Oh, God. I have so little time for that woman. I'm going, oh, what did you do now? What's your latest statement? I have this thing about, there are people... I'm not going to... There are people I know that just make statements about themselves a lot. You're right. And I find myself doing it. And I go, I just made a statement about myself. Oh, no.
What about Glenn Phillips from Toad the Wet Sprocket?
I like Toad the Wet Sprocket. For whatever... I've never tried. I find... Oh, someone give a super chat. Oh, thank you.
Celine 786 for your next vinyl album, LOL.
Oh, thanks. That's very kind of you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Very thoughtful.
Yeah, Toad the Wet Sprocket, they were big in the 90s. I remember I told you I went to Sedona and met Karen, my friend Karin, good German girl. And she was the nanny of this friend of mine, Richard, in Sedona. And there was this snotty kid one of those, kid who thought she knew everything about music. And she said, well, who do you like right now? I said, well, I like Toad the Wet Sprocket. She's, oh my God, I just don't even know who that is. You're obviously not really in radio. And I'm going, oh God. Ooh. But I remember thinking, man, she's got chutzpah, this girl. Holy smoking.
Phil Stephenson, hey guys, just like to wish you a belated Happy New Year. Love your channel. Keep up the great work. Thanks, Phil.
Thanks.
That's very sweet. Mark Burchette says, I email with Tina Turner.
What?
Yeah, so maybe you should.
How do you email with Tina Turner? Liberty DeVito. We've interviewed, both of us.
Yeah.
We interviewed Liberty DeVito one night on Friday Night Live.
Yeah. It was a fun interview.
His daughter's really talented. She's on all those Hallmark shows, and she's on one of the hospital. I don't watch those hospital shows. You watch hospital shows. Which one? The Good Doctor?
I used to watch New Amsterdam, but I don't watch that.
New Amsterdam? What, is that even still on? We used to love that show. Yeah.
Tony Stevens, Fred Turner, BTO.
I got it interviewed. I got to track down Fred.
Air Supply. Irene says Air Supply and Yes.
I've interviewed with a lot of people from Yes. John Anderson being the biggest one. Bill Bruford. Bill was a great interview, but it was on phone. It was a phoner.
Robert says Marshall Crenshaw.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Suzanne Huffs from Bengals. David says that.
I was just talking about that the other day. Marshall Crenshaw. Steve did an interview with Marshall Crenshaw.
Worldwide Ghost says some killer drummers would be good like Dave Weckl. Well, we all met him, but he's...
Dave Weckl. Yeah. Hold on. Dave Weckl with our son.
You bet. Very nice guy.
I don't know if I have enough power. This is a great picture. You're going to love this.
It was a super nice guy.
They let our son into a Dave Weckl intensive because he was good enough. Chase.
Rick May says, how about Joe Jackson?
I've never tried. Oh, yeah. Here's Chase and Dave Weckl. Oh, God, that glare.
Maybe I can get a better glare. Maybe I can get a better picture than you can. Oh, no, you can't see anybody.
I can't see it.
Like nobody's... Yeah, it's really bad.
Where's that good picture where he's... there's okay, I got to turn this off here.
Okay.
Okay, hold on. You'll see it. There's Dave. This is so cool. Okay, hold on. There you go. There's Chase and Dave Weckl. Look at... he loved Chase so much because he was so impressed with Chase drumming 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover. because Dave Weckl toured with Paul Simon, and at the beginning of, let me turn it off. There's Chase with Dave Weckl. Chase is 19 now. But anyway, so Chase was in what let into this intensive drumming with Dave Weckl, where first of all we thought, well, they said he's too young. How old was he?
Oh gosh.
He was like 3-4 years too young.
Totally.
And we sent them a video. We said, can you please make an exception and let him in? And we sent them the video, and they sent it to Dave, and Dave says, let him in. And so they, in the beginning of the clinic, they all had to play your favorite groove for me, and all those adults around him, even a friend of yours. Yeah. And we asked a friend to look after Chase because Chase was just an underage kid, and he did. And anyway, so Chase got on there and he played the halftime shuffle from Rosanna, and then he played 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover. And he was just blown away by it. He just said, wow. And I think he might have done the Purdy shuffle, and he might have done like Steve Gadd did 50 Ways, of course, but the Jeff Porcaro, the total one, the Purdy shuffle and the Bonham shuffle.
Blaze Eisner. Hello, brother
Hey, Blaze.
John and Sister Shan. Happy New Year from Utah. Have you ever posted an interview with Jesse Cook? Awesome guitarist. God bless.
I've interviewed Jesse more than most people I've ever interviewed.
We have pictures with Jesse Cook, but we're not going to go and show pictures.
We got good pictures of Shannon and Jesse Cook just hanging out at a mixer where Jesse is one of the nicest human beings.
Super nice.
Oh, my God. He always says, John, what have you been up to? Yeah, we go way back with the Canadian Smooth Jazz Awards. Even before that, when I was doing New Age music, because Jesse used to be signed to the Narada label out of Milwaukee. And so I played a lot of his music. He's the sweetest. He's one of my favorite musicians to interview of all time. Oh, he says, Worldwide Ghost says, Gad, one of my, I haven't interviewed Dave Weckl. I've talked to him. Of course, I met him. Steve Gadd I've interviewed, and I completely wasted the interview on talking about only his Gadabouts album with Edie Brickell, Paul Simon's wife. It wasn't a waste, but at the same time, I don't know why I didn't. I said, what do you get asked the most? He said, well, Asia, the song Asia from Steely Dan and 50 Ways, I guess. And I'm going, that's probably the most I got out of Steve Gadd, even though there was nothing wrong with the way he interviews. He was just a nice guy, but...
Mike Smith, Neil Diamond. Yes.
Because of his dementia-ish issues?
That would have been a really good interview.
Well, I talked to David Page about working with him. He says he didn't say he was a stickler. He says he knows what he's doing in the studio. He says, unlike some people I've worked with who don't work on their own songs, Neil Diamond... No, Mark Howard said that, the producer. He said, I think it was Mark who said, Neil... God, I'm getting all my interviews mixed up because I haven't cut them up yet. So it was like about 10 interviews I did last month.
I have no idea how you keep everything straight in your
I'm
mind.
not keeping everything straight.
So much stuff. Rob F. says, you two are such good people. There are very few Canadians that I don't like.
Aw, thanks.
That I don't like, though, John.
Shan.
Although I don't believe your lovely wife is Canadian.
She is.
I am.
Mike Smith and Elvis Presley.
Thanks, Mike. That's a good one.
Yeah, I'll get on that right away. There's an Elvis. Well, every town has an Elvis show going on, like in a week. It seems like an Elvis impersonator, but...
Hike with Mike. How about an interview with The Cure? Yeah. And
I
think he also mentioned Iron Maiden as well.
Iron Maiden. Mm-hmm. Oh. I don't do a lot of, well, not The Cure, but Iron Maiden. I don't do a lot of heavier stuff. There's like friends like my friend Eamon O'Neill from Eon Music. He's really good at interviewing the harder rock people. A lot of them I liked, but yeah. Oh, Mickey Dolenz, The Last Remaining Monkey. I'm going to try with him. I'm going to try to get him this year. He was always my favorite monkey, by the way, so,
Mozilla says, Trooper, saw your poster wall behind you yesterday, John.
I've interviewed Ray McGuire, and it looks like he wants to punch me in the face. It was one of my first interviews.
Tony Stevens says, what about Alice Cooper?
I'd like to interview. Yeah.
Ooh, Mike Smith says Willie Nelson. That would be great. Those are some great interviews.
Great ideas. Okay, I gotta show you the picture. Where's the Trooper? Oh, I gotta turn this off again. Ray looks like he's very unsatisfied with the interview, how the interview is going. This is when I first got into radio. Look at Ray's face. He's kind of going, what the hell are you talking? That was one of my first.
It's in Calgary?
This is in Edmonton at K-Light. Yeah, there you go. That's the kind of work we do around here.
DJH Record Hound. Hi, John and Shannon. Hey, DJH.
Hey.
Someone had also suggested Howard Kalin. And Mark Volman of the Turtles.
Oh, the Turtles, yeah.
Howard could give you a year's worth of stories.
Well, we have a few authors from the old days that are talking about people who are dead mostly from the 50s. I'm trying to think of the author's name. I interviewed him about 6 months ago. We did 2 interviews. His brother was having a heart attack. We had to continue at some other time. I don't have it nearby. That's how far behind we are with interviews. And here's the truth and the brass tacks of it is, why are you so far behind? I always tell authors who are not that well known, I have to say, listen, I have to put my big interviews first because I'm on a budget. If I get a big interview, I have to put that up first because I'm always trying to hit our budget every single month. That's what I do.
Dean says, I can connect you to Alan Atkins, founder and original lead singer for Judas Priest, 1969.
Oh, yes, please.
Well, that would be interesting.
John Beaudin at iCloud.com. It's just my name, John Beaudin at iCloud.com. Just email me. Thank you.
Thank you, Dean. Jeannie says, John Sebastian of the Love and Spoonful.
Yeah, and welcome back. He's a great storyteller. Yeah.
Mike Smith, you've got some good ones here. Dolly Parton. I know it might not be in our
I think
that would be cool.
Anyway, Dean, yeah, please email me, John Beaudin, Beaudin at iCloud.com.
Ed, hello, Ed. Mickey Thomas from Starship.
Well, we're trying with Mickey. I've got his phone number in here. We've talked to each other a few times now. Oh, how about Gary Wright? After I talked to, we interviewed Steve Porcaro of Toto. Then I interviewed him like 3 times solo. Then I think we interviewed him again, and he played on Dreamweaver with David Foster. So I emailed Gary Wright, said, hey, Gary, I just talked to Steve Porcaro. He suggested, because I told Steve, and Steve says, get a hold of him. He'd be a great interview. So I got to get Gary Wright this year because I'm a complete fan of his music, especially when he got into the new agey stuff a few years after Dreamweaver. It was amazing stuff, very spiritual.
Ooh, Blind Fate says, any chance of an interview with Rush or Trevor Rabin?
Trevor Rabin, yes. Trevor's got a new album coming out. So I'll try. I'm not sure when. Justin Hayward, I interviewed John Lodge David about a year and a half ago. So I'm going to try to get Justin Hayward because he wrote the bulk of the hits. So for the Moody Blues. Okay, we got to wrap things up because I have to record my show.
Oh.
What?
Yeah, and I've got, hang on, just wait 2 minutes.
Again, I'll say it. My God, you smell good. Jeez. Thanks? What's going on?
We're so appreciative of everybody being with us here tonight. It's so nice to be back. We were gone for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
3.
Yeah, well, it was over the holidays.
Well, plus we had COVID about a month and a half ago. That was not good.
We had COVID. It was in October we had it.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
That proves that John Beaudin is full of beep-a-da-boop, beep-a-boop.
That's okay. No problem.
Really? Was it October?
It was. Mike Smith said Eric
nuts.
Clapton, Rod Stewart. Oh, sorry, Clapton, Rod Stewart. Try Huey Lewis again, LOL.
Yes. These are all great. We'll write all these down.
Yep.
Yes, I saw that second Gary Wright.
That is right, DJ. It's almost Scrabble time. You got it.
You remembered.
She's edging her way over to me right now. And I'm like,
our autistic daughter, for anyone who doesn't know.
Just wait.
And at 10 o'clock, I usually go on to record my show. It took me forever to get ready for the Sid Barrett thing tonight. For whatever reason, I was getting this tension headache, and I was, when you're deep into it, you ever do that when you're working at the show homes? You're working so deeply, and you got to get it done, and you're not even noticing your body, which is telling you you're getting a tension headache. Grab a coffee and or Advil really quickly before it's too late, right? So Shannon rubbed my back for like 20 minutes and got into the little balls in there and just went kooky. You went kooky, Shannon.
Thank you, everybody. Karen Riley says, hi, John Shannon. Glad you're back on again. Thank you, Karen. Spacey says, next week, guys, you bet. Thanks as always, Mark says. And Transparent Media Truth, John and Shannon, nicest couple in rock and roll. Aww. Be well all. Hope tomorrow finds life loving you. Thank you, James. And we're happy to be back.
Thanks. Take good care, guys. Love you guys. See ya.